Yeah, do you see all that mud? That is Nathan's doing. We just took this 3.5 liter EcoBoost off-road and you got to drive it.
That's right, this is the brand new 2015 Ford F-150. It's got an aluminum body and it's the FX4 package, great for off-road.
And check out this video as Nathan puts it through its paces. You are the off-road man.
It's a lot of fun.
And that is coming up next
on the Fast Lane Truck.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the new F-150 and Ford was kind enough to set up an off-road course for us. And we've got Pat Gibson here, a Ford engineer, to kind of, what are you here for, Pat? What are you going to tell us?
I'm here at the off-road course today to accompany you guys, and we're going to show some of the characteristics and capabilities of the new F-150 when you take it off-road.
Right now it's in 2 high, so I should probably put it at least in 4 high, right?
I would put it in 4 high. That's what I recommend for this course. This is a slow course that taxes the suspension and the stiffness of the frame.
Which is more rigid than the one it replaces, if I'm correct. And it's 70 pounds lighter on the frame, and overall around 700 pounds savings with the aluminum.
Yes, and this type of configuration, which is
now we're in the FX4 here.
Yeah.
Which is the off-road package. Yeah. What does that entail? What does the FX4 get you off-road wise that the normal F-150 would not?
Gives you the shocks and springs for the off-road. Gives you underbody shields for traveling over rocks and unexpected obstacles that you might end up.
Is there a different gearing or locking rear diff? Or it looks like there's a electric locking.
You can get the locking rear diff, which this truck has. There's no difference in gearing on the transmission.
Now I noticed that you have a different set of gauge clusters there. It gives you off-road status.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it'll give you the yaw, it'll give you the pitch of the vehicle.
Now one of the cool features I can show you right now, and that's why we chose this truck, is check this out, guys.
It's a round view 360 camera, which is on the right. Okay, and you can get different views. Yep. And there's the 360 view.
Yeah, there you go.
And away we go.
And away we go. All right, let's go follow them. Now, obviously, Ford isn't the first to do that. I've seen that same thing done on...
Nissan was one of the first companies
yes.
to do it, and they do their Infinitis, and now BMW is using it. And, you know, within reason, I would imagine it's just one of the smartest things you can do.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple technology in terms of what you're actually doing. So you have cameras embedded in the mirrors. On the bottom side, you have one in the front and one in the back. And what you do is you're shooting the terrain, and then there's software that takes that image and changes it so it's relative to what you're doing, and it basically makes it look like a bird is flying over you and looking down on you. Bird's eye view.
Yeah, Range Rover does it too. It's really cool. It helps for seeing obstacles that normally might not be seen. Hey Nathan, if you can keep up with that guy, we can get some video. Yeah, I know. We're gonna bounce around a little bit more.
A little bit.
A little bit more. There we go.
There he goes.
There he goes. It's funny. I love trucks off-road. They're one of my favorite off-road tools because, of course, manufacturers like to say this is the biggest tool in the toolbox. And
which is funny because we're really the 2 biggest tools.
We are. Sorry about that.
Just the 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us, not you. Yeah, we're not including Ford engineers in that.
This truck also has hill descent mode, which is the button. It's applied the 360 camera.
Oh yeah, let me hit that for you, Nathan.
Go for
it. Go for it.
It's doing it. And you just, so I've got my foot off the brake, and whoa, and away we go. You just shut it off. Thank you, Roman. See, I can't keep up with him if you leave it on.
Okay, I'll turn it off. There you go. Oh, we got a mud bog here.
Here we go.
There we go.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love me some mud. The FX4 package, we played with this before and we've never had any problems with it. And being that our long-term test vehicle in Colorado is the Raptor, we definitely know that Ford knows how to do off-road. So that is indeed the truth. But while we're on this course, a lot of this really does feel like it's challenging for the suspension. It doesn't really feel like it's any issue for the engine. There's nothing, no hardcore off-road going uphill, you know, pulling anything or having to surmount any massive boulders. Right now we're going over some pretty good-sized logs.
So Pat, when's the Raptor coming?
I don't know the timing for the Raptor.
You can't put him on the spot. You're just an evil man.
Of course, that's my job.
I'll give you the answer. If I don't,
all right, no,
I'll tell you the best.
All right, let me try it another way.
Okay.
Is it true the Raptor's not coming this year?
See, I knew the answer to that one.
Oh, we got a nice little descent here, Nathan.
Here we go.
Here we go.
This is more like it. This is what I wanted to see.
Yeah, there you go.
Power to go up.
Yeah, nice. This is actually a pretty good little off-road course.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at this.
Cool. Right through the river. I love going through rivers too.
You gotta have a river to go through.
Yeah, proper river crossing.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Good splash. Go through a little mud bank right here. Nice.
Truck seems to have no issues with it.
No issues at all.
I noticed that it had different tires on it. Did you notice that, Nathan?
Yes, I did. I think that comes with the FX4 package, though, doesn't it?
I'm not sure. I think these are special tires.
Well, we got a Ford expert in the back.
You know, Pat?
These are regular tires. These are not off-road tires for this course. These are FX4 tires.
Okay. So this is
what right?
So this is a standard setup, right?
Yes, it is. There's nothing special done to any of these 5 vehicles we're using today.
All right.
Here, Roman will try to take it easy over these.
Yeah, take it easy over these, or my back is gonna. I tweaked my back this weekend, so I'm a little.
He's lifting 500 pounds of dead weight over his head, like he does on every workout.
That's my weekend workout. I do a lot of deadlifting, a lot of squats.
Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happened.
You can feel the skid plate definitely getting a little test on that. It's a pickup truck, so. The breakover angle is always going to be an issue unless you have it jacked up to the sky, which nobody really does. I'd say this is on par with the Toyota Tundra with its TRD Pro package.
TRD Pro, you go up that high, huh?
Yeah, I think
really?
so.
Yeah?
Well, because the TRD Pro, really the one thing that package has that gives it superiority over a lot of trucks is its overall suspension package, right?
Right.
But this one, even though it's not the heavy-duty one, it feels like it's just as, in the same ballpark. It definitely, obviously it's not up to the Raptor level.
Yeah, there are basically 3 levels of truck, right? There's a standard truck. Mm-hmm. There's the off-road version of that, which is in the Toyota, it's the TRD, right? And then there's the ultra off-road, which in Ford's case would be the Raptor, and I think that TRD Pro kind of falls in between. But
this and the Raptor, the articulation's pretty close. I mean, maybe I have to do it back to back to know for sure, but I can tell you this: very competent, and because it's so light, and it really is light, it doesn't really feel like it's struggling to go over the hills. The older F-150, when it was going over hills and whatnot, you really had to get into the throttle in order to get it to spool up in order for it to get over a hill. This is just dancing. It just has no problem.
Yeah, it is amazing what less weight does. It helps everything. It helps towing. It helps off-road ability. It helps even changing the tire when you get a flat.
Yep. That's true. That's true. I mean, it's little things like that, and you know, obviously Ford has found a novel way to attack not only getting better MPG and better use of power, but also making a vehicle that it's a lot easier to control.
Well, Nathan, you're taking this like a champ, so.
It's a little challenging, but it's really, it's this truck doesn't have a problem. That's why I'm saying I think that the Tundra TRD Pro is a pretty much dead match for this truck right now.
In terms of cost, we don't have a sticker in here, so we don't know.
There's no sticker in this.
So
the last one we drove, the King Ranch with all the bells and whistles,
was
$62,000.
So
This one's this is not as expensive. It doesn't have as many bells and whistles. I'm gonna assume less than 62.
This little window. I'm trying to open this. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the double skylight.
That's incredible. Look at how huge that is, guys.
Yeah, you should take the camera and show everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is just immense. It is. That is one of the largest sunroofs out of any pickup truck I've seen. Does that back open too?
Yeah, the shade opens. You got the shade button next to the.
This one. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Look at that.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh my God, that is.
It's almost like we're sitting in a convertible.
I know. The whole roof opens up. That's going to be a new first for trucks as well. To have something that large.
We need it on our next truck, Roman, so we can stick a camera out there, right?
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You could just pop out of there, and if there were elephants out here,
we need a turret. Yeah,
a turret and a gazelle.
This is Texas.
If you were hunting, which we are in Texas, right? It's a place where people go hunting. You could just, shoot out of that opening. My God.
I'm deliberately taking this a little slower than I should.
Yeah.
So I'm not using any real momentum, just using the power of the truck, and it doesn't care.
It doesn't care.
It does not care.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Mirror's a good size too, by the way. Something I've noticed. I like this. I mean, in terms of an all-around sized mirror.
Yeah.
I like these.
Let's go back to the round camera view.
Yeah, there you go.
Now you can see what you're doing.
It only works up to 5 miles per hour.
That's why it turned off. Okay.
But there is something really super cool on the backup cam, which is on many of the F-150s nowadays. This is not just on the 360 camera thing. And that is, there's a center point that you can actually control with the steering wheel. It's a black dotted line, and it lets you line up where your ball hitch is versus where your trailer is, right? So you're able to back it up directly to it and really have an accurate approximation of where that is. So that's really cool stuff. So as you turn the wheel and you're heading backwards, you can look on your screen, you actually see this black line turn, right? And that's the line you follow to get your hitch to your trailer. It's very cool stuff.
Well, Nathan, nice work.
It's a piece of cake.
Easy, huh?
Yep, the Ford guys are getting this back a little dirtier than when they gave it to us.
Yes, a little dirtier.
Just dirt.
It's
just dirt.
It'll wash off.
Yep. No dead animals, no dents for once. Yeah, so we're good.
Now, Nathan, we didn't get this on camera, but I got to drive it too, and I'm impressed. It's not as good as a Raptor,
No.
because we had that long-term Raptor, but it is very impressive, completely stock.
That's right. You have to look at this in terms of what it is, and it is a lighter vehicle with a really good engine, and frankly speaking, it just did great off-road.
As always, this is Roman
And Nathan,
saying thanks for watching, and check out tfltruck.com
for news, views, and real-world reviews.
Ciao, we got to go drive this off-road more.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another TFL truck towing test. And this one is courtesy of Ford because they flew us down here to San Antonio and set up these trucks. We want to be complete and open about that. To my left is the Silverado, the 6.2 liter V8. And of course, you know what this is? It's the Hemi, the 5.7 liter V8. And Nathan, you are standing by a Ford. What's under the hood?
This baby has a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbocharged EcoBoost.
So why do we pick the 3.56 cylinder and compare it to the 8s?
Because in terms of overall performance, it is comparable to those engines
And that is coming up next.
on the Fast Lane truck.